Alright guys, back for more Season 55 war action. We're starting off on Path 3. We've got Cassie, Corvus, and Cheoth. So this Vox fight is sneaky because he gets armor ups on his medium attacks. So even though I can parry to get the armor breaks with Corvus, my plan in here was to go in and just use light attacks only. Build up to special 2, power back boost, try and get as much damage in as possible, but only light attacks, and that just makes the fight really slow. Very, very slow. Get it done, fine, get the solo, perfect, but it is a very slow fight, and my armor breaks are just kind of feeding his willpower healing the entire time, and even though I'm SIG 200, it still takes a long time to get back to your glaive charges. So kind of some of the downside with Corvus here, if you can't completely nuke him down right away, you try your best to wait it out and get back to those charges. And here I can use heavy attacks. I was pretty good at evading his special one the entire time, but it's just slow. You can see me backing up, waiting, and eventually we get our glaive charges back and we're able to finish off the fight. So just a reminder, if you're new to the channel, I do 2 accounts in the same battle group. At the moment, I'm still doing Path 1 and 3. Sometimes I do crisscross, like Path 3 and Section 1, and Path 1 and Section 3, and vice versa. I think this one is a straight path for both accounts, and we try and get you some mini action as well. This was a pretty good war. One annoying mistake, which happens from time to time. You know, I'm not perfect, but we try our best. Next fight is a man thing. He's global, but has nothing to do with the node. So we go in with Cassie. Cassie bypasses the node both as a global, like a decay attacker, and because she has no buffs at all, so you don't have to worry about the annoying unstoppable. The only thing here that I'm doing is trying to get as many power stings on as possible. Let Man-Thing throw his special 1 over, or special 2, doesn't matter, over and over again. Try and get the power stings to refresh there all the time, and that is all we're doing. Do that over and over and over again. Nothing to worry about. We're poison immune. We're buff immune. We're basically hard countered against Man-Thing here. Just have to make sure we don't get clapped by a special 1 or 2 in the face, and that's all we need to do. We can get the poison on Man-Thing to pause the debuffs, and that's really all there is to it. There's nothing crazy on this one. Cassie does a perfect job for what I needed on this fight, and it works out great. So we're just gonna, again, I speed up the fights because I probably had like 30 plus minutes of raw footage for this war, and I'm just cutting everything down to about 15 minutes so that we can squeeze them all in, because I think we have 10 fights again this war, and which means we got the full 8 fights from the 2 paths, and we've got 2 minis for you this one. So next up is Path 1 in Section 1, which is a Mojo. Nothing crazy about Mojo here. It's the personal space regen node. We're going to do this one with Void. There's really nothing to worry about. Global attacker, global defender. We get the withers really easily, and we don't have to worry really about any of the damage over time from Mojo. So none of the degen is going to do anything to me. I'm not too concerned at all. Just have to make sure that I keep knocking down Mojo to keep the slow on. As long as I keep the slow on, I don't have to worry about the annoying unstoppable, because we're not buff immune like with Cassie. So we do have to keep knocking down Mojo in order to keep the slow on. And there's really nothing to it. Pretty easy fight with Void. The next fight, however, is going to be one that I roadblocked myself in a previous war, needed someone else to come in. Didn't realize that for this arcade on Masochism, Viv is the way to go. Now, I did use a White Magneto pre-fight just as a helper, which it does help in the end, because if I end up getting a parry, then it's passive and won't trigger Masochism. But all we're going to do here is we are going to make sure we have a solar charge so that we can phase, and we're just going to keep rocking the heavy attacks for the majority of this fight. We can throw a special 2 if right here when he has no tokens, and as long as we keep knocking him down with heavies, he is not going to get any tokens. There was a passive stun from the guidance boost, so that helped out. But we're just going to keep on phase heavying him. And if he does throw a special one, that's fine. We'll evade. We're poison immune, so I'm not worried about that. And then we just phase heavy again 2 more times, remove the tokens, and now we're free to throw another special too. So super easy fight with Viv. After trying it with other champs and it not working at all and needing someone else to come in, and actually brought Viv to do it, and it is so easy with Viv here. So yeah, probably one of my favorite interactions there. Next up, we're going to go to Path 3 in Section 2. We've got Corvus that we had to waste a bunch of potions on to heal up, but we're taking Red Skull here, which I get clapped at the beginning because he does trigger that unstoppable, but because we're not global and he is global, but we're just building up to a special 2, drop a big special 2, try to be careful of every Red Skull gains an armor up every time one of us gains a bar of power. So there again, unfortunately, I threw that special 2 when he had an armor up. So that kind of messed up my fight a little bit. But here we're going to try and slow play this here. Use a striker to get some spacing. Again, after we're kind of stuck in the corner here, but it's fine. We're going to block, we're going to evade, we're going to drop a special 2, and he's almost done. Parry, one more special 1, and it's over. So we bend but don't break on that one. And then we've got a Jessica Jones, no armor up, so no issue about the node whatsoever. We're going to bring in Sheelth. Sheelth has a grit on her special 1. Grit is that pink buff there that allows you to bypass any unstoppable, and because we keep spamming special 1, we keep up the grid, we have our debuffs, and we also have our cleanse charges, so we don't have to worry about any debuffs from Jessica Jones, and we absolutely nuke this fight. There is no worry whatsoever. I don't even think she gets a bunch of her charges, let alone trigger her unstoppable. There is nothing to worry about with Sheelth against Jessica Jones. I'm pretty sure it's about as easy a counter as you can for Jessica Jones, and we absolutely melt that fight. Now we're going to head over to section Path 1 of Section 2, we have a Wong, another global attacker. We got Void, our global defender. We got Void, our global attacker. And we're just going to make sure that we get our heavies going. Keeps the slow on. Also against Wong, when he gets to above 90 of his charges in the top right, you got to throw heavies anyway to get rid of it, or else you don't want to get any of that annoying damage reflect. So I just keep up my heavy counters even after his special 1, just to keep it going. And we're in really good shape. Very, very easy fight. Again, here with Void, we counter with a Striker, another heavy attack. He is just melting from the intimidating debuffs. He's also heal blocked, so I don't have to worry about the never back down regen, which is if you dash back twice, you put a regen on. And this was real time. This is the lag I was dealing with in that fight. It just froze for so long. Even in fast forward, it took a while. Now here, I've done this photon a whole bunch of times. I've gotten better at it as the time has gone on, but sometimes you still make a mistake. And my big mistake here was pushing to a special 2 near the end and then being too nervous to try and evade it, thinking that I was going to take too much damage, but instead, by blocking it, I basically got absolutely wrecked and had no health left. Accidentally went for like a parry and died at the very end when I should have been able to finish this fight. The main thing that I do on this one is I'm looking for the top right and trying to maintain with that purple buff there, or timer, counter key. Try to make sure that Photon throws a special there, drops her power. Now I'm going to knock her down, trigger the pure light form. Unfortunately, I was stuck in the corner. Used the Striker actually nicely to get away from it and push her. Unfortunately here, I think this is where I make the mistake. I pushed the 2 bars of power. I wanted to go to a special 3 because I could have tanked it and it would have made it easy. Instead, I took a ton of damage on the block, and I take the parries there that kill me. If I would have either held a block and forced a heavy and pushed a special 3, I had the invulnerability boost, I would have been fine. Instead, I didn't even take a hit there. I should have tried to evade the special 2. I would have just taken a hit from my invulnerability boost instead, even if I would have messed up the evade. So that's where my big mistake was, is not even taking advantage of the fact that I had the invul boost on. So that was just annoying. We do revive and finish up, and it did not end up being the end of the world because we did get the win, and again pushing us ever so close to trying to finish in Platinum 2 at the end of the season. We are teetering on the edge between the top of Platinum 3 and the bottom of Platinum 2, similar to what we did last season. All right, Viv against Dust is like a really good counter, but on this node, I'm not going to gain an ounce of power the entire time. I sped this one up like crazy because all I'm doing is getting my hits in. That's all I can do. I can phase to get some heavies, I can get some strikers in, I can go for some full combos if I want. But there is nothing I can do here other than get basic hits and monitor the glancing that she can put on me and the sand charges, right? The sand, if she gets too much sand on me, I'm going to glance, I'm going to get all that sand damage. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. So that's the only thing I have to worry about. I do get, because the fight goes almost the entire, like 5 minutes, I fast forwarded through the thing at double the speed, and there is still a point at the end of the fight where I screw up and almost blow it because it's just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But we're just phasing, making sure that we have our solar charges, and we are good to go. But instead of letting the music play out, I will let you know what I did for the next fight. The next fight is the more exciting one, which is the, to be fair, it's a bishop fight where there's conflictor and increased like prowess, and it is a very annoying node. And what I'm going to do with Viv is that I'm going to try and play in a specific way to not let Bishop throw a special the entire time. Now, there's a way to keep him below a bar of power the entire time. I messed that up a few times, but still managed to keep him to not throwing a single special the entire time. Mainly because if you phase heavy, you will, like if you phase, you will drain the opponent's power, and if you heavy or finish with a light ending or medium ending combo, as long as you have a solar charge, which is the yellow charges for Viv, you can phase again. And also another thing to note is that your special one does not give any power to the opponent. So what you can basically do is you can phase heavy a bunch of times till they're close to a bar of power, and you get to a bar of power, but they are almost at a bar of power. So then you can phase, throw your special one so it drains them a little bit, and you can throw your special one that is going to give them no power, phase again, which will drop them again, and you can get like 2 more heavies in. So that's what I'm going to do here against this bishop. I'm going to parry heavy, then I'm going to phase heavy again, phase heavy a third time. Now I have a bar of power. I'm going to quickly back away. I'm going to phase into a special one, which drains his power and gives him no power from the special one. Then I can go ahead and phase heavy again, phase heavy 2 more, like a second time, and again phase into a special one. And I try to do this rotation over and over and over again, and a couple times I give Bishop a bar of power, but I'm able to phase and power drain him back down below and continue the fight, and we managed to get through this Bishop without letting him throw a single special. And thank you to one of my teammates that helped me out with this strategy. I'm sure other people out there have it, but this is the first time I've gone for like a full, almost like power locked or power drained method with Viv, and this worked out extremely well. So I'll let the music play out. You can watch the rest of this one, and I hope you enjoyed the entire war. Again, let me know if there's anything you want to see in the comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.